Hi Aquarius, this is Amanda Nardozzi. Thanks for hopping into my little ferret den here. We keep it warm here, we keep it cozy. Today's reading is for March 10th, 2024 for the new moon in Pisces. Now the way this is going to go is that the energy that I read for is going to be most potent around the new moon time. And that's usually within a 3-day time span. So like a few days before the new moon, a few days after the moon, that's going to be where the energy is most potent. And then the reading carries through for the next 2 weeks. So this energy is going to be, I'm going to read in on the energy and then something to work through or something to think on for the next 2 weeks. That's when the energy is most active. That's what I'm reading for. So most potent new moon for the next 2 weeks up until the full moon coming up. So that's how these readings work. And that being said, I'm just going to jump right in. So as always, just call in your angels, guides, spirit team, whoever you work with on the other side. I will do the same. That way we can connect to what energy fits you and what energy might be for others, just because this is a general reading. So that in mind, thank you, Archangel Michael, for casting your light of protection around me. Thank you for helping connect me with the Aquarius energy. I'm going to roll fast. I'm going to talk fast. If I don't talk fast, then it's just going to, I'm going to lose it. So bear with me here. I think you can hit the playback speed and slow it down if it's a little bit much. And we'll see what we got. I'm going to pull for Celtic Cross first, pull some oracle cards, roll some dice, and then I'll send you on your way. So let's see what we got for our Aquarius friends, whether you're sun, moon, rising, or you're just drawn to the Aquarius energy in some way, or if you're reading for a specific area in your chart for Aquarius, that's okay too. However you feel drawn to the energy, that's what we're working with here. Pretty versatile. We're pretty open to all signs here. But we want to focus on Aquarius placements or people who are drawn to the Aquarius energy. All right, let's roll some astro dice. That's going to help me hone in on the specific area of life that we're working with here. That's interesting. So I always find that with the all of the fire signs have a similar message, all of the earth signs have a similar message, all the air signs. So you know what I'm saying? All of the element signs seem to have similar messages, and the theme for air signs seems to be a little bit money based on your creations or just goals and money in general, because you and gosh, who did I just read for? Libra had the second house on their astro dice. So that being said, your astro dice rolled Pluto, Sagittarius in the second house. The second house rules your finances. It also rules your inner values, but it's coming through as finance reading to me. Sagittarius are specific goals. Sagittarius carries an optimistic energy, but the energy surrounding the second house is the, I just see goals, ambition. I'm getting a little bit of success here, but it's more of where it is you want to walk to, where it is you want to venture to, what's the next adventure. It's where you're stepping next. Pluto is the reinvention. So Pluto is the destruction of something, and then it is almost, I just heard recalibrating, but it's more of a restoration. So it's taking something old and then it's completely shutting it down to build something new, or you're reworking the old to manufacture something else. I don't know why I'm getting a lot of heavy handyman terms, manufacturing and labor industry and all that stuff, but for some of you it could be taking a turn towards a different industry in relation to woodworking or software manufacturing, engineering, something like that. But this is a reworking, and this is a new adventure. And the reason why I say new adventure is because you have the Ace of Pentacles as a situation in the Celtic Cross. So the situation with the Ace of Pentacles is that new financial beginning. It is a new gift, a new opportunity, especially Pentacles is finances. It's material wealth. It's just anything in the material, anything in the physical. It could be new skills, talents. That's everything that Pentacles represents. I feel like this is a new financial opportunity. This could be a new job offered to you. This could be just a new opportunity to make money in general. It has a place in your life. So the current thing now has a place in your life. This next opportunity, even if it's not 100% what you would envision or 100% what you thought it would be, it still has a place. It's being offered. You don't have to take it. But I do see you wanting to take it. There is something that's calling you to this new adventure. Okay. You have the Tower here as your challenge. The Tower is this Pluto energy. If there is a card I would assign to Pluto at all, if there is a planet I would assign to the Tower at all, Pluto and Tower are like, they go hand in hand, because Pluto is the reinvention. Pluto is the destruction of something to rebuild something new, and that is what the Tower is all about. But there is a little bit of a challenge here, because again, it's almost like something shook your world, or like, let's say something happened like to, I'm getting somebody who like, maybe someone in your family ended up in the hospital, and then now you're left with a lot of the financial bills that your current job is unable to pay. And you're like, well, now I have to find something else. Or it's giving me that type of vibe where something happened in life, or some type of groundbreaking thing happened, or something shook you. It was a spiritual awakening. It was some type of external event. Something happened, and you're like, this does not work for me anymore. This current life needs to be like, it can't function as it's been functioning, and something's not working. Okay. So something has to be reworked. So what's coming up from within with the Four of Swords is, I need to take a step back. I need rest. Because there's a lot to think on. There's a lot of maneuvers that need to come up. There's a lot of maneuvers that need to be made, and it's overwhelming energy right now. It's okay to take a beat. It's okay to rest. It's important to take a step back and not just dive headfirst, because you need to take the time to listen and figure out what the next steps are forward. For each of you, those steps are going to be different, because it's all about the specifics. So like, if you're about to go into school or whatever, like, I can't tell you what school to go to. I wish I could give you specific direction on certain things, but for a lot of you, it's very different how you're going to recreate this life. So taking that time to step back. And another thing that I do want to mention with the Four of Swords is that there is a stained glass window up in the corner, and that is often interpreted as the sunshine that comes in, the blessings. Okay, this is like this rest. This spirit just wants to say, like, to express gratitude for this time of rest, to express gratitude, even though like you can't see how your world is shaking up, and you can't see how it's going to serve you in the long run. Just know that like, you're getting put off this path for a reason. And it's almost like you intuitively know that there's something not working for you here anymore. Like, you've been like, I feel like some of you felt the shift before the external event, or before this thing happened, and before your world got shook, you sensed something coming. Okay, some of you are intuitive like that. Like, you're like, oh, snap. Like, some of you might get bad feelings about something, or like, you're like, okay, well, I have a feeling something big is going to happen. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's good. Or I feel like, some of you might feel like even like it doesn't feel good. Like, cause like you might not want the shift, or you might feel like resistant to the shift. But I feel like I hear the word challenging, and I see you almost like, oh, okay. It feels like you're holding something and it's heavy and you can't pick it up, but you're running across bumpy road, and this thing that you're trying to carry is bump, 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 but you need to take that thing with you, so you're trying to lift it higher. And it's almost like you're getting like rug burn on your item or something as you're like running with it. I'm not sure how to describe this, but that's the energy, that's the image that Spirit is giving me of somebody who keeps trying to run with their shit, and they're like, ah. And I'm not saying let this thing go, because it's almost like, it's like you're like, no, I want to protect this. I want to keep it off of the ground. I don't want this to fall. And that's okay. It's fine. Something needs to be reworked. I'm hearing something about a passion project. And I'm hearing something about maybe starting that with some of you, like turning your passion to finances. That is an opportunity, but I feel like some of you are like, that's out of your mind. You're like, no, I need to make money now. Like, I can't wait for my passions to come true. That's fine. You don't have to, but Spirit's urging you to go that path, because the more aligned you are with that, the more the success is going to come to you. Because I say that the more aligned we are, the more, like, the stronger of a magnet we are. It's okay to do something in the meantime, but something has to be reworked. And this has to do with your habits, routines. You might have to take on a new schedule. I'm just getting something with a schedule shift, or something in your environment and your habits have to change. So if you want to, I just heard you want to work steady at a shop somewhere. Some of you are actually doing something with your hands, or doing something physical or laborious with your hands, fixing something, engineering, auto body, like that type of thing. Some of you are like, okay, well, you know, if like there's an opportunity near me, like for example, if there's an auto shop like right near you or something, and you're like, okay, well, the car broke down, so I can't go to work anymore, and you know, like I gotta like make do and maybe take a job somewhere else that's a lot closer, maybe within walking distance. And if you have like an auto body shop down the street or something, that's just a very specific example, but that's the kind of thing that's coming to mind of something happened and you have to make do, and this is just what's available, and you're like, okay, well, let's do it. And Spirit's trying to assure you that it does have a place. So right now, focusing on like trying to get through this structure, use your passion projects as rest type of thing. Well, not as rest, but like keep your dreams alive and play in them a little bit. because they will serve you later. That's going to be something you're going to grow slowly over time. That's going to be something that's going to be at the back of your mind. And when it's time to act on it, you will know. For example, in the past, you have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is exploring. The Page of Wands is learning about the things that are creative, that light you up, that make you want to go, booyah, Cashapp, that's the path that I want to go on. Spirit says that you've turned the pages on some of these adventures and you found specific niches that you would like to dive into at some point. Some of you actually, I'm getting a podcast. Some of you have like a podcast you want to start or something you've been involved in that you want to keep going. Keep doing that, Spirit says. Like, keep restructuring your life, but keep those passion projects because that can be important to you down the line. Some of you, it's just a hobby. You're not trying to make it a career. That's fine. For some of you, you are trying to make something like podcasting or content creation or entrepreneurship or something like that a career. I'm just getting that you're doing your own stuff in the background, but it might not be 100% what's next. If that's what you want, then go for it. But I'm getting for a lot of you, like, you might have to take something like extra or around the bend, kind of like you might, I don't know, I'm getting like you might have to take something close in order to support your dream a little bit more or to help accommodate for this change in your life. Or even some of you, the change that could happen, that is happening, is that you want to continue. Like, you want to continue with your passion, but you might have to make changes to accommodate for that. Now, a lot of your focus, this is the loss of something. The focus, this is in the focus position. This is in where a lot of your mental energy is going. Some of you, this is a grief. This is being struck with a grief or a loss. If you had a spouse or something and they passed and you were left with all of the bills, that is definitely a shocking thing that, you know, this is just the card of heartbreak and depression and grief. So some of you are actively going through a loss or going through, like, even if you didn't fully lose a person, like if they just ended up being, I don't know, I'm hearing like things like unstable, like maybe they turned unstable, like mentally unstable in some way, and they need extra assistance, or like you need to step up a little bit more with finances, and that's causing some extra strain in that category. And that's what this Tower moment is needing to restructure, needing to find time to like maneuver and figure out what you need to do. I'm hearing like taking some extra time to meditate so that you can listen for answers. Again, that rest for the Four of Swords is incredibly important, needing to take that space, needing to take that time. And I'm not saying you need to spend hours running off into a cave and journaling and just leaving all your responsibilities behind so you can go into hermit mode for a while. You don't need all of that time. It's literally just either sitting in bed or finding a quiet space, or even just a space away from people where you can be by yourself and journal and talk with your feelings, and to actively like be honest about your feelings. You gotta be honest. I'm getting some Scorpio energy here. I'm getting like, but like the fearful side of Scorpio. You're getting into some really intense energies here, and some of you don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. They were like, I would rather like lick a frozen pole. I would rather get my tongue stuck to a frozen lamppost. Like, that's the energy that I'm getting. And Spirit's like, that's the kind of stuff you need to get vulnerable with. If you open up your vulnerability to those things and you actually face it either through journaling, or for me, if it's hard for me to journal, I actually video record myself. It's a little bit better sometimes to just say it, get it all off my chest, and then actually, like, you don't have to play it back, but sometimes it's good to talk about it and get it off your chest. But I find the things that we exhibit resistance to are the things we need to do and get out of the way. Just so we don't have that resistance to it anymore. It's things that we need to work through. So if I am resistant towards, for example, I'm writing a book about my spiritual awakening, and I had to face a lot of demons going through that because it involves the passing of my friend and being haunted by him, right? And there's a lot of amazing shit that happened, even though it was really messed up in a way. There are a lot of important lessons that I've learned. I grew so much as a person from it. I treasure it very strongly, but I didn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole for like, I didn't want to touch it with a 30-foot pole. Like, hell, make it a 5-mile radius. I don't want anywhere near. And I'm a medium, so every time my friend came to me or I felt him come to me, I shut him out. I was like, nope, don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I'm angry at you. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Like, it was a whole thing. And still I have that automatic response sometimes, but I've been a lot better at, you know, when I have that feeling of wanting to shut him out or wanting to shut out those experiences from the past, that's usually when you have to let them in and greet them with open arms. Spirit is saying, with your arms wide open, you need to exhibit arms wide open and let them in, because that's going to be what sets you free. When you acknowledge it, when you understand it, and when you get to the point of no resistance. So that way, like, there's no fear in relation to that anymore, because there are that energy holds you back when you don't sort through it. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So that's important. And even if it just happened, it's going to take time to process, and that's okay. But sit with it and allow it time to process. But working through those Scorpio energies there, working through those fears, facing it. This is why anybody with major Scorpio placements, like, oh, you have my love, you have my admiration. You guys are so freaking strong, you have no idea. Like, everybody's on their own journey, everybody's strong in their own way, but them Scorpios, I'm like, y'all be living some tough-ass lives out there. Like, dang, like, it's challenging. Like, oh, man, my Scorpio placement. Whew. Anyway, that being said, I know Scorpio fucks with me, excuse my French, but my Scorpio fucks with me a lot. So I don't have any major Scorpio placements. I'm like Sag Sun and Pisces Moon and Rising. But I feel things on a deep level with my Pisces. So like the Scorpio placement in my chart, I'm like, huh, Lord have mercy, we need to take some time. Like, we need to take some time and sit in that energy for a while. So I get it, and like, it's really intense. So give yourself love, give yourself compassion, and offer yourself grace for it, okay? In the near future, you have the Page of Pentacles. So there is something to, I do feel like this is new. Again, I'm getting auto shop for a lot of you. I don't know why I'm getting like auto shop or mechanic shop or something. If that's you, please comment down below, because that is so specific. But this does feel like something that is right down the street from you. So it doesn't have to be like an auto shop, but it's something that's like right down the street from you. For some of you, it's very close. But whatever this new venture is, I just heard like kicking it. So if for some of you, it's even in the neighborhood. So like, I literally am getting something. I don't know why Spirit's saying something like kick it to the curb or something. Some of you, it could be like within spitting distance or like something close by. But anyway, I just heard you can measure it with a stick. Like, okay. All right. That message is coming through clear. I'm going to move on. If that doesn't apply to you, it's whatever. But the Page of Pentacles is learning a new skill or learning a new craft. I do see you, I sense you having fun with it. I sense you falling into a good routine, and I see it being stable. I see it being good. Again, it's just working your routine around it. It's working your skills around it. And it's something new. It's something fun. But there's a lot of inner conflict with it. This is the U position in the tarot and the Celtic cross right now. The Five of Wands is all about that inner conflict, that inner turmoil of, I just heard like something about needing to stay in one place and feeling stuck. And wanting to stay in this place, but knowing that it's not going to work for you and that you need to, it's almost like you're trying to say goodbye to something. And it's like, I know that this is challenging. I know that I can't leave this. I want to leave this. You can leave this, but it's feeling like you can't. It's having trouble making those arrangements and going down that road. And there's a lot of inner conflict because there's a lot of stuff from this like current thing that you're going to miss. And that's okay. That's very fair. But you got to do what you got to do. For whatever reason, I can't help but feel like some of you, maybe at this current place, you're making more money, but because of circumstances, you have to take a job with a pay cut, or you have to move on to something with a pay cut just because your situation has changed and you can no longer, afford to do this thing, or you can, like, it just no longer is going to work. But I feel like it has something to do with like distance or like, something. And that's okay, because in your environment, we have the Four of Pentacles. I see you conserving your money, you're conserving your resources. In your environment, this is like needing to hang on to things or being like extra like stingy with your cash, just so you're hanging on to it. And it's not so much as for some of you, I'm not reading that like you have to save your money because something awful is going to happen. But for some of you, you might be saving up like for, I just heard like for some of you, your car has been totaled. And there's something big on cars here, Aquarius, but for some of you, you're saving up for a new car, or you're saving up for something better. And it's not so much as something bad is going to happen, but it's almost like conserve your funds because you're going to need it for whatever adventure you're going to do next, for whatever like car. For some of you, you moved back in with like parents or something, and there's like a need to escape from that. And it's like, oh, when I get a car, or oh, when I get this thing, when I get a good amount of money, then I will be able to put that chunk of change towards this thing that's going to aid in my escape. So for some of you, there's that. You also have the Nine of Pentacles in your hopes and your fears. This is just leisure. You're like, I want to live well. I want to live comfortably. This is an act of leisure with the Nine of Pentacles. She's walking through her garden without a care in the world. She has all of her resources. She has enough to give to her own garden, and she has enough to give to other people when the time calls for it. I just heard she has parties. She has people over all the time. This is actually, Spirit's like, this is in your future. This is where you're headed. This is not typically how I read this position, but Spirit's like, this is where you're headed. It's just going to take a little bit more time to get there. And I'm hearing something about either 5 months, 5 years I'm getting mostly, but like, I know it's like a really long time and you're like, oh my God, no. But it's almost like to reach that leisure point, the point, like I feel like some of you are dreaming big. Like you're smiling big, you're dreaming big about it. Because again, like that Sagittarius, you have goals, you have specific aims to go for. And it's almost like spirit is like that reinvention to help cater towards your goals. Like whatever this is, you have a passion project going on in the background, but this thing that you need to make changes now on might not fully align with it, but you're doing your passion stuff in the background. And again, your passion doesn't necessarily have to earn you income, but there is financial potential there. That's all I'm saying. But the Nine of Pentacles is like, for whatever reason, spirits, like you will have those parties. You will be able to have people over. You're going to have your own space where you have people over. Like you're going to be in that space again where you can entertain. There's just something about inviting people into your garden, inviting people into your home. So if that's the kind of life that you want, and to not have to worry about, oh, I want to make sure I can like have good parties and like, you know, have like, some of you might want like the bougie decorations and all this other stuff, and you might want your house to be like pimped out and nice and like everything like that. And spirits, like that is on its way. That's on its way to reach its full manifesting potential. I see some of you making a lot of money within the next 5 years. It does take time to build up to that, but like especially like in the Nine of Pentacles is giving me the energy of not only having the money to do that, but she's having emotional fulfillment in whatever it is she's doing to earn that money or earn that garden or earn that potential, because she's tending to it. And I mean, I love the Nine of Pentacles because she's badass. She's badass, hardcore. Like she got to this point and then she wears all these luxurious robes. Like that's Taurus energy hardcore if I've ever seen it. And I love it. I love it. She's like a walking Taurus woman and it's amazing. Okay. And I know we're in the energy of Aquarius, but sometimes you really got to get into that sensual. You really got to get into that like materialistic, like, yes, I am a badass. I have these material things that I want and I'm good to go. Sometimes it just feels good to have stuff. You don't always need stuff. I'm not going to tell you though that, oh, just minimalism is the way and oh, release your attachment to stuff. And I mean, cause like, I don't know, stuff is pretty nice. Spirit's kind of assuring you that if that's the path you want to go, it's coming. It's coming. Like you will be able to entertain. You will have that emotional freedom. You will have that emotional space. Some of you are in an emotional space right now to do those things or host those parties. But Spirit is like, you're going to have that leisure time. I just hear for some of you, you're going to be able to take more breaks too. So wherever it is that you're going, that is in your future. But I see that in like reaching a full potential in 5 years. But you understand that it'll take time to get there. Okay. And it can manifest sooner for you. Like it depends on the moving pieces. It depends on, again, like where you are. I say it's in the tall length, like the floor length glass mirror. It was shown to me like in a reading that I did for somebody else, for one of my friends. And she was looking at a piece of glass from a floor length mirror. The glass was shattered in so many different pieces, and Spirit's job is to put all of that together and put all like the rest of the mirror back together, but you only have this single piece that you're working with. So allowing Spirit the time to put all those other pieces in place is going to really help. And just trusting that it is eventually going to happen for you. It's just allowing those opportunities to come in. As the outcome, we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about boundaries, structures. For some of you, you need to enact more boundaries if there's a home environment that you're not liking too much, enacting more of those boundaries, or where you are putting your energy, make sure that you are like, I feel like some of you are in like in an energy where like you're not fully receiving the stuff that you're putting out. You're not getting equal reciprocity. It's not always going to work out like that, but I can't help but feel like, oh, I have to take care of this person that fell ill or whatever the case may be. Some of you are happy to step up. Some of you are like, oh my God, what a responsibility. Like I was not prepared for this. I need to like make all of these different plans. So for some of you, it's just having boundaries energetically, and like when you are resting, you are resting. You are not with that other person. When you are resting, you are not with your other responsibilities. You're not with your job. When you are resting, you are with you. That is going to help replenish you. It's more of like, don't allow other areas of life to bleed into your rest. That is incredibly important. That's going to be important for meditating, for that Four of Swords. Okay. It's going to be important for that. But having those boundaries, and then also just having like it's like having strict routines and structures will actually help ease up this tower experience a little bit more. It'll help harness that energy a little bit more of like, just so things can even out, because the tower is very chaotic. The tower has all this lightning striking, like you're falling from the tower. You're meant to fall from the tower. It's okay to do that. Like, I think we have many tower moments in our life. I do feel like, I think it's the Tower and the Chariot that are like two of the major cards. I'll have to see what my two tarot cards are. I think it's based on your birthday or something. You might want to look at that and see what your cards are, but I can't help but feel like I don't know. I'm so used to Tower energy. I've grown to love it just because I love shaking things up. I love change. It feels uncomfortable, yes, and sometimes I'm telling Spirit, look, you may tell me that I'm ready, but I'm not ready. And that is okay to believe that you're not ready and to trust that, you know what, I just need to give myself time to catch up. That's this rest. It's okay to not keep up to speed with the rest of the world. We are not meant to be like constantly on the hamster wheel. And Spirit understands this. You might feel the energy of being ready, but if you are just not there yet, that is okay. You're just not there yet. It's fine. Spirit told me this the other day. I freaking bawled my eyes out. They were like, we're saying that you're ready. You can do it today. If we could drop everything and just go all in on this tarot stuff. You can do this today if you wanted to. And there's a part of me that's like, but you know what? I'm just not ready. And that's okay. There is nothing wrong with you not being ready yet. It takes time. Give yourself that time. Give yourself that rest. It's going to be so important. Next cards that are coming out for you. You have soulmates and you have clean it up. Some of you are involved in some of you, it's a romantic partnership. For others of you, this reading is just revolving around whatever chaos has been brought on by another soulmate. It doesn't have to be a romantic connection. It can be a family member. It could be a friend. For some of you, this is a family member. For some of you, it's taking care of a family member, taking care of a lover, or through the loss of somebody, you have to step up. But a lot of it is just taking care of your affairs, clean it up. So, gosh. For some of you, if this person passed, there could be some stuff like debt relief. There's something about debt that is kicking in or whatever that you have to deal with. So taking care of that stuff, cleaning that up. For some of you, there's just cleaning up after a loved one if you have to take care of them. Just this soulmate connection. And I do feel like for whatever reason, some of you are but this is where I return the favor. So in that way, it balances itself out, but there's just that feeling of, oh, things are changing, life is changing, it revolves around this other person. If you have the capability of doing this, relying on that soulmate for guidance, for help, just for extra support, really. If you have that, even if you lost them on the other side, just calling out to them, reaching out a hand every so often, it can help you process your grief a little bit more. But just cleaning up is taking care of your environment. Some of you quite physically just need to clean house or need to clean up house more. There's that too. Let's see what other cards are coming up for you. But clean it up is taking care of the mundane chores and just cleaning up the energy a little bit. It's cleaning up the physical space, and honestly, cleaning up physical space really helps clear up that energetic space too. I feel so free when my dishes are not in my sink and they're clean and in the cupboards. I don't know why, but empty sink just brings me so much joy and just lightens me up so much. I don't know why, but a full sink is just so sometimes it's the very basics of doing that just help bring up that energy a little bit more. You also have holy love. Holy love is channeling unconditional love. It's paired with clear, cancel, and release. So there's a phrase coming to mind, and I'm not going to say it right, but I've said it enough times to where I feel like I should know it. It's one of those, it's the serenity prayer. God grant me, or give me the strength, or give me the, gosh. Okay, I don't have anything on me to look it up, but looking up the serenity prayer, because it's giving you the strength, the guidance, the discernment to be able to understand the things that you can change and the things that you can't. And I've heard that I should honestly know this by heart because I've seen it enough times. I had it on a quote up on a wall, but the serenity prayer is very important. And it's understanding that there are some things that you just can't control and just allowing yourself to let go and release those things. The situation sucks, but there might be nothing you can do about it. There might be some external things in the situation that you can't change. Choosing to turn your attention away from that and focus on things that you can control is going to be incredibly important. That's having a lot of grace. It's having a lot of serenity. It's having grace for yourself, grace for others, keeping your peace and understanding that everything is in perfect order, that everything happens for a reason, and then just understanding where to put your energy, and then just allowing that unconditional love to flow to this other person. So to this other soulmate connection, to this thing. and trusting that there's just a lot of unconditional love there. It's for some of you, I see it being the passing of someone, and I also see taking care of someone. So there's a lot of unconditional love. There are a lot of lessons in unconditional love there. Let's pull another card and see if there's any action steps forward, anything else we want to focus on right now. And then I'll roll some dice for you, and you can be on your way, Aquarius. Some of you are learning lessons in unconditional love through this Tower moment too. You're just like, you're understanding a little bit more. And again, 27 revolving around the home. Again, this is like confirmation that it's revolving around the home, but also being comfortable in your home. So trying to find peace and comfort within your space in the home. So again, some of you feel like, you know, this might be overwhelming. I need to escape. Finding that peace, love, and comfort in your own space, even if it might not feel good in your space right now, even if things are kind of topsy-turvy. And I literally see like a box with a bunch of beads inside, and it feels like that's your home or your life. It feels like your life, and someone just like flipped it upside down. They're holding it up and they're going like they're shaking it, and then they're just putting it back down, and then things are just a mess. It looks like a tornado went through it. But it's finding comfort in that disaster. And I just heard like regaining your balance. Some of you feel like the rug has been ripped out from under you and you're trying to find solid ground with your feet. Giving yourself time to fall in love with your space, fall in love with your home and yourself in that space. Just being at home, resting, and there's something about nostalgia here. So connecting with your inner child, and like if you're somebody that used to drink Huggies, for example, and you have like those fruit barrels, and you have such strong loving connections and fun connections to Huggy barrels or something, go out and get yourself some Huggy barrels. Like this is the type of energy that feels like it would help you. I have here for some of you, I feel cornered in my own home. Or I feel like I'm trapped in my own home, like in a cage, a bird's cage or something. So what's going to help you cope with some of that is connecting with your inner child. And like if you're somebody that played like a specific game when you were a child, if you did a lot of pacing in your room with headphones in or whatever, and you just dreamed for hours, maybe spending time to do that. I did that. That's why I bring that up. But there's something specific about just indulging in your inner child, like helping yourself feel safe again. Because I feel like a lot of it is in the mind. It's just because there's so much change happening, it doesn't feel safe. It's just getting comfortable, needing to. But I feel like for whoever this is, whoever I'm speaking to is able to take charge of their environment a little bit. It just feels overwhelming and needing to withdraw and being like, oh my gosh. But that being said, I do see you gaining comfort. I do see you gaining structure eventually. And I do see you getting back on your feet with these finances. So you have 65 on the angel dice. I'm going to pull from Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray, and I'm always going to read these messages twice. Your finances are a reflection of your self-worth. Know that God sees you as deserving of blessings and harmony. One more time, your finances are a reflection of your self-worth. Know that God sees you as deserving of blessings and harmony. So again, Spirit's basically, like I said what I said and I meant it. Let's drive that point home. So really diving into your fears, sitting with yourself and reflecting, diving into your what you view as finances. There's something here about, again, diving into your fears, working through your feelings and processing. That's incredibly important. And that is Spirit saying that's directly related to your self-worth. So let that be a key for the next 2 weeks for you. I really hope this helped, Aquarius. That was your reading. Thank you for joining me here in this space. I really do appreciate it. If this resonated with you in any way, go ahead, like and subscribe and all the things. That way you can keep up to date with me, what I'm doing, where I'm at, how things are going. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Tell me how it resonated with you if you so feel called. And I will see you in the next collective or the next Aquarius reading. Love you, love you, love you. Bye.